Today, May 29, 2025, Nnamdi Kanu, leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, scored a major win in court. At the Federal High Court in Abuja, Justice James Omotosho ruled to reject key evidence presented by the Department of State Services, the DSS. The judge found that statements made by Kanu were obtained under duress, meaning they were forced or coerced. As a result, those statements will not be used in the trial. This decision came after a special legal process known as a trial within trial. In it, Kanu's lawyers argued that he was held in solitary confinement and mistreated until he was forced to say what the DSS wanted. The judge agreed that those conditions made the statements unreliable. However, it wasn't a total win for Kanu. The court still accepted video recordings that show him making threats against some Igbo leaders over their position on Biafra. Also, a DSS officer testified that Kanu admitted to smuggling a radio Biafra transmitter into Nigeria. He allegedly used it to call for violent action. Kanu's legal team says that confession was also forced, so the court has ordered another hearing to investigate how it was obtained. In summary, the court has thrown out some of the DSS evidence, but not all. The legal battle continues, but this ruling marks a significant step forward for Kanu and his defense team. On today's rule, the Federal High Court in Abuja delivered a pivotal ruling in the ongoing trial of Nnamdi Kanu, leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB. Justice James Omotosho rejected key evidence presented by the Department of State Services, DSS, including 3 written statements and accompanying video recordings from 2015, on the grounds that they were obtained without Kanu's lawyer present during interrogation, violating his constitutional rights. Kanu testified that he was coerced into making these statements under duress, alleging mistreatment and denial of legal access during his detention. While the DSS contended that Kanu received presidential treatment, and that the statements were made voluntarily, the court emphasized the necessity of legal representation during such interrogations. Despite this setback for the prosecution, the court admitted other evidence, including video recordings allegedly showing Kanu threatening prominent Igbo leaders over their positions on Biafra. Additionally, a DSS operative testified that Kanu confessed to smuggling a radio Biafra transmitter into Nigeria to incite violence, a claim Kanu's defense disputes, asserting that the confession was coerced. In a related development, the court barred Kanu's sister-in-law, Mrs. Favor Kanu, from attending further proceedings after she was found live streaming the trial, an act deemed contemptuous by the court. The trial is set to continue with further hearings scheduled for June 13, 16, 18, and 19, 2025. For a visual summary of today's court proceedings, you may find the following video informative. If you found this helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. And tell us, what do you think? Should Nnamdi Kanu be released? Or should the trial continue? Let's hear your voice in the comments.